As far as Ifa Tunde is concerned, I have the least to say about him. I even have some nice things to say. First off, it's nice to see someone with credentialed, verifiable intelligence. As one and all knows, anyone can give their thoughts and opinions on anything. However, of all the people claiming to be an authority, Umar Johnson is the only one that has a standardized bit of knowledge that's based more or less in objective science. Not only that, he's the only one that I can name that has the proven credentialed skill to properly understand such science. As a universal intelligence that can be accepted no matter what gender, race, nationality, etc. Nevertheless, I have this against him. Quick mention, the school, which as of the scripting, as far as I know, isn't completed. I don't know the inner workings of that undertaken enterprise. I have no doubt that it would have been completed by now if he had gotten all the help needed, and this help does not necessarily mean money, but yes, money is of course one thing. Oprah was able to make a school in another country. There's no reason why this school couldn't have been completed in 2 years max, from start to finish. If all the so-called black people that are truly for black empowerment actually worked on it. This of course meant black people from all corners of society, from celebrities to politicians to athletes to drug dealers. Money is money. I myself could have helped by giving my IT expertise on the matter, since I wouldn't have any substantial bit of money to give. As will be seen by the end of this video, most black people aren't for black empowerment as a global entity, therefore the empowerment of their own tiny fiefdoms with them at the helm. So no school. The road not traveled, huh? Now then, the fact of the matter is this quote-unquote queen business has to go. All this talk of black woman is queen has done nothing but leave a large portion of the black population, at least in America, thinking they're of consequence when they haven't done anything at all, much less anything of consequence. I would have played a video from one thugtician, which spelled it out perfectly as to why the black woman is queen business has to go. However, I can't find it, despite scanning my private archive of almost all his videos. Yes, I do have his archive, or a archive I created of pretty much every one of his videos from day one, as far as I can tell. And no, I will not be uploading it because I don't want any problems. Shouldn't be too hard to understand though. Simply look at actual, and this is just me, this is not him talking here. Simply look at actual quote-unquote royalty of any country. Be it of the past, and perhaps that country doesn't exist anymore, or the country exists today, and so does the royals. In each and every single case, bar none, the royal, or royals, plural, are nothing more than mortal humans themselves. They don't have mutant powers fresh from the Marvel world. They usually, if not always, serve an ornamental role, not a functional one. And in all cases, without exception to any degree, they consume more than they produce in terms of any metric one can come up with. There isn't a single country that couldn't still function perfectly fine, or at least as good as it was before, if the royals of said country died immediately and no other mortal human replaced them. Take that logic and fact to most, if not all of these women being called quote-unquote queen, who usually aren't royal in any respect. At no point were black people any form or fashion of quote-unquote royal in the Western world. And the fact of the matter is, any actual royalty from Africa, current today or descendant from, wouldn't have ancestors that were slaves to the Western slave trade. It wasn't the royalty of Africa that got rounded up and put on slave ships. Truth is, all the black women that can legitimately be called quote-unquote queen, if for no other reason than they were descendant from direct royalty, think Queen Nzinga, Queen Makeda, standard issue Cleopatra, probably still live in Africa somewhere. Or at the very least, they would be African, not African American, Black American, or whatever is the correct term today as decided by any and everyone except so-called black people. Lastly, I'm very well aware that many of the men that go around calling women queen are just trying to get some ass. I also know that some are truly on some Earth Mother Goddess original man business. Among other reasons, and all the ones that I mentioned here, fact is, many of these same Earth Mother Goddess women with the Earth tone, the head wrap, and all of that, with black man is king and God and all that Afrocentric business, are the same ones that will willfully go on ghetto gaggers or something in that realm and have all kinds of quote unquote white devils balls deep in them, dancing like strippers and all of that. Isn't that right, Blake Indigo? So, Ifa Tunde, it would really help black people as a whole if you lay off the kings and queen business. Kings and queens aren't beholden to anyone, and certainly not to some system that their culture, group, race, whatever you want to call it, didn't create. As long as white supremacy exists, there sure as hell aren't going to be any kings and queens that are non-white, much less black, in the Western world.